Hey guys, this is Starcraft, and I'm going to be bringing you another awesome 2v2 match, and this one will be on Arid Waste, and it will be a rematch between Aristeo, who will be the red Zerg this game, his partner Cubert, the blue Terran, against ProTech, the purple Terran, and his partner will be Illmatic, the teal Zerg. So this is another game out of that set of 4 that these two teams played, so I'm really looking forward to this. Last game was played on Warzone, and Cubert threw down an early bunker to block off that ramp, and ProTech went for a fast Hellion push, and they were able to take out the backdoor rocks on the side and press their way gradually in with more and more Hellions from ProTech. So that was an intense game, a very cool strategy. I love seeing those fast Hellions come out because they're not used too often, and yet they are so effective. So we'll see if he goes for that play again, because he is getting a very fast refinery. ProTech is an unusual play for him. Usually he is quick on the draw with the barracks, so possibly are we going to be seeing some more Hellions, because that fast refinery will mean he may be going for an early factory. We'll see though. Already putting he's got 3 SCVs already mining that gas and no barracks even yet, so interesting opening build order for ProTech. We'll see how that pans out, not opting to do any kind of wall off here, as on Arid Waste there is a backdoor. Each team has one player with a backdoor to their main, and then one player with a backdoor to their expansion. As you see, this is a rubble that I almost always forget about on this map. When the game starts to get into the mid game, you forget that there's a backdoor rocks to the expansion in this base and this base that is hidden by grass. So that is something that I forget about a lot. But this one, every time that I forget about this backdoor rocks, I swear to God it comes back to bite me. Just like a week ago I was playing a game with my friend, and I remembered at the last minute, I was like, oh crap, I forgot to put a pylon over here. I was in this position and I forgot to put this pylon down. And I run the probe over there to put the pylon down, and the probe comes out of this grass, and the rubble has 1 hit points left, and there's a crap load of Zerglings and Banelings that just come roaring in. And that was not pretty. Not pretty at all. So actually a lot of times what you'll see players do is build up a sort of wall around their mineral line on the rubble side. ProTech not really opting to do that down. You do see his factory is on the way, and this is a reactor on this barrack, so we're definitely going to be seeing some Hellions. And Aristeo, though, he does have a bunch of Zerglings out. He is taking out Illmatic's lone scouting Zergling here, it looks like. But actually, Illmatic sent out 1 Zergling into Cubert's base to see what's going on. It looks like Cubert is doing the same exact thing that ProTech is just now doing his building swap. So we are going to see Hellions versus Hellions. And interesting, maybe the starport that ProTech is throwing down to follow those Hellions will come into play this time, as Cubert is not doing that. He is simply pumping Hellions. So we're going to see Zergling Hellion versus Zergling Hellion. Aristeo is getting a Baneling's Nest down right now, and Illmatic, though, however, is not getting a Baneling's Nest. So we'll see if the Banelings come into play. Actually, Hellions are pretty effective against Banelings, though if they are misclicked, the Banelings can do quite a bit of damage to them. As Aristeo now with the speed out for his Zerglings, going to try and surround some of ProTech's, 2 of ProTech's Hellions here. Looks like he could get this one if he wanted to, and he is going to pick off that Hellion just now with the support from Cubert. And now look at the exchange right here. A bunch of Zerglings against a bunch of Hellions for both teams, and the Hellions torching up all the Zerglings in the front. And it looks like ProTech and Illmatic getting the upper hand in that battle, because ProTech was able to get 2 more Hellions down there faster than Cubert. So both armies playing cat and mouse in the middle with an even amount of Hellions and Zerglings continuing to pour in for both players. It's going to come down to positioning and micro, and it looks like ProTech's Hellions getting a little bit overexposed there. These Zerglings from Illmatic are in a tough spot, and Cubert's torching all of them up. ProTech needing to fall back right now. More Zerglings on the way for Illmatic, trying to hold back this tide of Zerglings and Hellions, just going back and forth right now, totally even. So very intense right now. ProTech's Hellions looks like are a bit lower on life, but now the Banshee is out for ProTech, and that's going to make a huge difference right now, as Cubert and Aristeo have nothing to deal with this Banshee. They're in a lot of trouble. Cubert is getting a Banshee out himself. So once that is out, neither team will be able to kill each other's Banshees. But ProTech, with getting the Banshee out sooner, is just chasing these Hellions around right now. The Hellions and Zerglings, though, are so much faster. ProTech might need to think about sending that Banshee right into the base of his opponents. But meanwhile, another exchange going on down here right now. This Banshee queuing up an attack order on these Hellions. ProTech he has 2 extra Hellions now, though, and it looks like these Hellions from Cuba are going to go down. Aristeo trying to force those back. His Zerglings are forced to run back and forth to try and defend from both sides. Illmatic with a ton of his own Zerglings. And now a Banshee on the field for Cubert, and a Banshee for ProTech is going to send his Banshee right into Cubert's main. So we'll see what happens there as more Zerglings and Hellions are continuing to be pumped out from the top team. And it looks like ProTech is going to run his Hellions right by and go after the Terran main. The Banshee is in here just shooting at a barracks, probably not being microed right now because ProTech is busy trying to save these Hellions, which got cornered there, and they all died very quickly, so that could be a huge difference. There's a pretty even amount of Zerglings right here in the middle of the map going back and forth. Cubert with 4 Hellions back here. But ProTech has 2 Banshees in Cubert's base, and there's nothing he can do about it. No engineering bay. Desperately, Cubert is trying to get a Viking out to shoot these Banshees out of the air. And so knowing that they are in a ton of trouble, Cubert actually researching the cloaking device on his Banshee, and that could be a critical mistake from Cubert because costing a lot of minerals and gas to do that, and is actually almost already out of energy. So is ProTech getting a Viking out to deal with that? No, I don't see that yet. But is it going to matter? With ProTech losing all his Hellions right there, and these Zerglings from Illmatic forced to pull back, ProTech's base is in a lot of trouble right now. Illmatic, though, look at the surround he got on those Hellions. Huge right there from those Zerglings. Are going to be able to come in and start to clean up the rest of these Hellions. A lot of them are dying, and this Banshee is getting free shots on ProTech's base right now, but at the same time, his Banshees, it looks like, I'm not sure if they died or if they fell back, but Cubert finally got some Vikings out to defend his base from the Banshees. ProTech needs to be doing the same thing. He's actually going for another Banshee. So ProTech is not going to be able to do anything about it. He does have a Viking out now. I did not see that. Looks like he already had that Viking that just now came out. So that will ward back the Banshee, and he will be able to return to mining. Meanwhile, Aristeo and ProTech have been going back and forth with these Hellions and Zerglings in the middle of the field. It looks like ProTech thinking about getting a tech lab possibly to get some blue flame for those Hellions, because there's so much going on right now. It looks like the Banshees have been negated, but Cubert's base is completely done right now because he has no SCVs left in here. The Banshees from ProTech did do a ton of damage. By the time these Vikings came out, the damage was done. This command center, it looks like, is gonna go down because there's no SCVs left to repair it. And that is huge trouble as ProTech and Illmatic with a crap load of Zerglings are going to come right into Aristeo's base, and he is in a ton of trouble. He has 1 Spine Crawler, 3 Queens, and a bunch of Zerglings. Going to try and fight back as much as he can. Cubert does have 1 Banshee to try and help support, but he's in a lot of trouble. Look at the Hellions from ProTech are torching up all these drones in the back, and Aristeo's economy is going to be in complete shambles by the time that this attack is warded back. Cubert even landing some Vikings to try and kill these Zerglings, but now the Vikings are getting surrounded, forced to lift off. And so many Zerglings in here. There is a Banshee that is uncontested firing away at those Zerglings, but there's too many. Zerglings now focusing down the Spire, but Aristeo does get out 4 Mutalisks here, and it looks like those Mutalisks will be able to clean up this army. The problem is that all the drones have gone down, the Spine Crawler's down, all the Queens are down. So Cubert and Aristeo are in a ton of trouble. The command center did die. He desperately tried to call a mule down to repair it, but it looked like it was to no avail there. Either that or Illmatic ended up sending a few more Zerglings in to finish that off. And it's now a 1 against 2. And the upper hand, definitely with ProTech and Illmatic. Aristeo will GG. He has no economy left. And ProTech even giving an easy call And you know, that's just his style. He actually did it in Allies. So Aristeo and Cubert have left the game. Another great matchup. The Hellion play and the Banshees coming up huge right there for ProTech, getting his Banshee out significantly quicker than Cubert did, and he was able to clean up all these SCVs in the back of Cubert's base, and there was nothing he could do about it. So thank you, ProTech, for sending me this game. This was another game in a set of 4 that these teams played against each other. They did go 2-2, but I don't have the losses from ProTech. I'm sorry, you guys, but nonetheless, that was a pleasure to cast, an exciting game. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my channel and you like what I'm doing, thumbs up my vids and subscribe, and I will continue bringing awesome team matchups to you guys. So thanks for watching. This is Irie StarCraft, and peace out.